Sorry if I was in your way there, fellers. Hey, guy, get your big head out of the way. All right, y'all take care. Good morning, guys, and welcome back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, I am Senate Steve. This is my 99 C5 Corvette. Now, we have a bunch of things coming for this car in the next week, and I can't wait to explain to you guys what we are doing. Now, we're gonna do some things that we don't normally do. You know, we like to have fun around here, but let's get the golf cart parked, and I will start the introduction because, well, I got some things that I want to see and I want to do, and I don't know if this would make for a good video series for you guys or not, but I'm curious as to see what this Jeep would bring at an auto auction. If you are new to the channel, like I said, I am Senate Steve. That is my 99 C5 Corvette, and I am, you know, a car dealer. So this Jeep here, I ended up taking it on trade. Not really sure how well you guys can see it there, but I ended up taking it in on trade. It has a 6-inch rough country lift. It has 33-inch tall tires, brand new tread, you know, everything like that. If you haven't checked it out, definitely was a vehicle that I've had some fun with already. But we're gonna run it at the auto auction today and just see what it does. You know, we know it's got a little bit of body damage here, but we also know that I only have about $430 in this Jeep. So let's take it over to the auto auction and see if we can't make some money today. Now, another thing I was curious is, what do you guys think? Do you think I should run the C5 through the auto auction sometime just to gauge what it would do? You know, I'd be definitely curious to do that before we do the twin turbo kit, which, that's right, guys, the twin turbo kit is on its way. They are making it as we speak. Well, probably not right now because it's only about 7 o'clock in the morning, but we ordered the turbo kit. It's actually about 8 o'clock, but yeah, so maybe we'll take that car to the auction sometime and see what it would do through the auto auction, just to kind of, you know, have some fun with it. We obviously know I would never sell that vehicle, but who knows, maybe we'll run it through the auto auction sometime just to see what it would do. So let's jump in the Jeep here and let's head to the auto auction. I definitely don't mind an early morning drive down the turnpike. Definitely makes everything faster than trying to go 581. For some reason, it seemed like 581 was a parking lot today. So I'm not gonna lie, I can't lie. I love this Jeep. It's gonna be a little heartbreaking if she sells. Hum a little bit, you know, I sort of like that. It's sort of something that, you know, I'm used to because I've always had lifted trucks and things like that, and definitely by far this was one of my cheapest and best purchases for trade deals. So we're almost to the auto auction now. We're gonna see what she's gonna do. These new fangled dangle things, I don't know how to work them. But anyway, guys, so we did end up selling the Jeep today. It did a few dollars less than I thought it would have done, but overall I'm still very, very pleased with that deal. We ended up making a couple dollars, which at the end of the day, that's what matters. So we did end up selling the Jeep. Kind of a little bit of a bummer, but also, you know, it was one of those things where it was a little rough around the edges, and I just, you know, with the having the C5 and having the twin turbo kit on the way, I didn't really want another vehicle that could possibly, you know, end up breaking or having issues, especially since we know I was a little hard on that thing. So I'm glad it sold. Now I can, you know, kind of free up that money and put it into some more cars at the house that I need to get them moving anyway. So we'll get the house cleaned up and picked up and everything like that. So I'm happy, you know, made a couple bucks. Not a bad day at the auction. Now, one of the good things is that I do know people there, because I didn't really plan for a ride home. So after I sold it, I was standing there and I was trying to figure out how the heck am I gonna get home. I mentioned it to one of my buddies. He's like, I got a couple cars here, just take that one. So I don't plan on purchasing anything today. I did make an offer on a vehicle. So we'll see if that actually happens. It is on an if bid. So they have 2 hours to decide whether or not they're gonna take my offer or not, which is, I don't think I would sell it for what I have my offer in at, but if they sell it, they sell it. If they don't, I'm not upset, you know. But I'll see you guys at the house. We have some things we gotta do. All right, guys, well, with that being said, I kind of want to talk a little bit about why I did this LQ9 swap to my C5 Corvette. Now, a bunch of people have messaged me and, you know, they say, hey, Steve, you know, I'm curious as to why, you know, you added weight to the car. You didn't really pick up any power, you know, this, and that, you know. I've had an absolute tremendous amount of questions as to why I did this swap. So the main reason that I did this swap was because I wanted more torque. This car actually, the way it sits with this LQ9 motor in here and the different cam setup, this car is making right around 50 more foot-pounds of torque. It makes about 40 more horsepower than the LS1 motor. So I don't know if that's the cam setup or, you know, or the intake or anything like that. But also, we're not running the nitrous shot that we were running the last time, you know, we built this car. So we are intended to go forced induction. We are actually working with a company right now. They've reached out to me, Huron Speed and Performance. They have reached out. They are actually making a turbo kit for the C5 Corvette, and I am, you know, they've been making it for quite some time, but they have made an offer to me, you know, that I can't turn down. I am going to be, you know, pretty much sponsored by them, which, you know, I'm thankful for. So Jonathan, if you're watching this, huge thank you for reaching out to me and us working out, you know, all the details and everything like that. I'm excited to work with you guys. I cannot wait to make power out of this car. So I do want to get into what it costs to actually end up swapping this motor over. And the way I'm going to say it is I'm going to say what this motor values at. I'm not going to sit here and say what I have into it, because obviously we know, you know, somebody reached out for me and they pretty much sponsored the motor. But on average, an LQ9 motor goes for about $1,200 to $1,500. As we do know, the LS1 that was in this car, I had sold for $1,500. So if we'll say that, you know, you can get these motors for $1,200, $1,000, things like that. So we'll just make it even. We'll say $1,000 is what you can get an LQ9 for. What I did was I, you know, reached out to Texas Speed. I bought their MS3 cam set, which was the valve springs, retainers, the cam and everything like that, you know, all the supporting mods to do a cam to this motor. And I spent, I believe it was $589. So now we're about we'll even say $1,700 to swap to this. Now, when I bought that motor, it came with a complete engine harness. The engine harness I ended up selling for $200. So that takes us to, we're broke even right now on doing the motor swap. Then I had an alternator, which I ended up selling for $50. So now we're positive $50. And we also had a starter that came with this motor, and I also sold that for $40. So now we are $90 in the positive to do this engine swap. And like I said, guys, we ended up gaining 50 horsepower. So if you factor it out, I sold it for $1,500, the LS1 that was in here. You know, we'll roughly say I paid $1,000 for the LQ9. So there's a $500 difference. I paid $589 for the cam system from Texas Speed. So we'll say there's, you know, $100 difference. Alternator sold, engine harness, ECU sold, starter sold. We made money to do this engine swap, guys. That's what I like to call making a good investment, doing the right thing, and you know, utilizing. Before I blew this motor or the old motor up, I wanted to kind of, you know, be good. So that motor did run fine. We did, like it said, did start smoke a little bit during idle and things like that. But, you know, the motor was still very, very strong. As you guys see, straight off the trailer, right before I sold it, it did a 10.9, 10.8. So that motor was very strong on 150 shot of nitrous. So, and before I, you know, sold it to the guy, I tore the pan down and everything like that. There was no metal in the pan. Everything looked great. So I'm glad I sold it when I did. You know, I can't wait to see his project. He is actually putting it in, I believe, a 240SX. Don't quote me on that. Sorry, Kyle, if you're watching this, if I, you know, butcher that, but I believe you said you were putting it in a 240SX, which I'm excited about. I can't wait for him to send me pictures and things like that with it running, and things like that. So with that being said, guys, we still have a bunch of things to do to this car. I will talk a little bit also about the clutch system. I'm not a big fan of this McLeod RXT clutch that's in here. The clutch I had in here was a little bit, you know, it was more aggressive, you know, and took the power a little bit better. But when I was at the track, I was fighting the clutch issue. I couldn't get out of the hole. It was doing 2-1s. So initially, when I come out of the hole, I end up launching at like $4 grand, and I slipped the clutch on its way out. Well, the clutch pedal was fully disengaged, but the clutch wasn't actually fully engaged. So with that being said, we were losing power, losing time, and by the end of the track day there, I ended up adjusting the clutch pedal out drastically, and it did cut 1.8 and a 1.7 60 foot, and ended up running 11.11 at 127, I believe it was, or 128. So I'm not upset with it. I do want to see if I can get a different clutch in here, but the major thing that I want to say, guys, is we are working with Huron Speed and Performance, and the twin turbo kit should be here this week. I mean, I talked to Jonathan. He said he's working out the details. They needed a few parts to get the kit back together. But I'm excited, guys. So this car should be twin turbo in the next 2 weeks at the very least. I'm excited. I want you guys to drop your comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. And, you know, I'm pumped. I can't wait. The power goal I am reaching for is I want to make about 700 all motor. This LQ9 should support that, no problems. Everything I have done between the fueling and everything that I've already upgraded should support it and support it with ease. So I'm excited, guys. As you can see here, I did end up cleaning up a good amount of trash, since everybody likes to say, you know, clean your yard, clean your yard. So I threw it all in the trailer. We are going to make a scrap run later this week, and who knows, I still have 2 motors over there I got to put in. Not sure if you can see them. Still got 2 motors over there, and I have a motor over in front of the Beetle, but I wanted to get this all cleaned up and get a head start on it. Plus I guess you guys are tired of looking at crap, and so am I. So with that being said, guys, if you like the content and you cannot wait to see this car get twin turbo, smash that like button. Please subscribe, and we got another long journey ahead of us. I also will be revealing my next project vehicle, which I do already own. I've had for years, and some of you close friends can guess what it is. And even if you watch some of my videos, you will see it in the background for a time or two. But I will be revealing it, and we are going to LS swap it. So it's going to be a mild LS swap. It's not going to be anything crazy, guys, but we do have a car that we will be bringing to the channel once the turbo kit is done to this car. So once the turbo kit's in, we're, you know, ready to go. We're going to do track days and things like that, but then we can turn our attention over to the new car. So I'm excited, guys. I hope you're excited too. So hope you guys had a great weekend too. I'll see you in the next upload.